Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Happy Friday, or as I like to say, Fry, yay! How is everyone today? We are going to be doing a donation only live stream, and that basically lets you know that depending on how many donations we get, that's the length of today's live stream. And I normally will kind of start out with a free card here or there, um, or something fun just to get us started on these donation only live streams. So while we wait for a few people to come in, I usually wait till about the 10-minute mark. And if we don't see much activity before then, I'll just close out and bid you adieu for the weekend. But in the meantime, get some decks sorted here, and we can actually use this deck better today. I mean, it's not great. The lighting's still, like, if we were facing this way, the lighting is great because we have a diffused lighting situation with the clouds and the window and all the fun things. But today, I realized after I got all set up that part of these, like, what do you call them? Covers for my light fell off when Wrigley put them out in the hallway yesterday, or 2 days ago. Thursday during the day. Yes, that's when. So I'm kind of blinded by the light a little bit over here. I might actually move this over so it's not so bad, but yes. And then this way my face doesn't look swollen on the side where there's no light, because that's what tends to happen. We've got the lighting from the window, the lighting from this ring light source. So I might turn it up just a bit though. As long as I don't look directly into it, I'm fine. So there we go. That's probably the best lighting situation we've had since I have moved out of this room and then back into this room and back into this room and back into this room, because it is now Wrigley's bedroom for those of you that missed that memo and what's going on there. If you're here, check on in. Let us know that you're here. Hello, hello. So yeah, we are going to be doing our donation only live stream today. And then Wednesday, I think we're going to have some fun with the Cosmic Questions Corner. So you will be able to have some fun with that. It's been a while, not too long, but a bit since we have had that going on, which is really fun. So, all right. I'll just wait for those of you that are wanting to donate. Or if we don't have any donations today, we'll do just a quick little reading and see what we need to know. All right. Just see my email here. All right. Looks like we are up to date so far. Oh, I accidentally clicked my other thing, my other browser, which I don't need open right now. So let me close all that out. Gotta love modern technology. Okay, it's letting me know I'm live. That's good. Yeah, these donation-only live streams are a little awkward as I wait for people to check on in or come hang out or whatever the case may be. And sometimes people don't have a question, so they tend to not check these ones out as much because we're not doing all the fun things that we normally do. All right. Okay. We're about a minute away from our normal time. Da-da-da-da. Just check a couple things here. I've been having trouble getting my email to update, so that's always fun. Okay. It looks like we do have someone in the chat. Hello, hello. Yeah, that might be your opinion. That might be your opinion. Okay, so yes, email up to date, even though it's taking time to load. We're almost at the 5-minute mark. But what I think I'm gonna do is start just a little mini reading and just see if there's anything we need to know right now. I'm actually gonna use the Wake Me Up Tarot. see what we need to know. Here we go. Okay, Queen of Swords, speaking truth. So there may be some people in your life, and this especially with the Mars and K2 kind of dance that's going on right now, the closeness of that conjunction has caused people to kind of lose their head and say things maybe out of turn that it's not really their place to say. And you may even have been someone who has felt like saying something, but then, maybe you didn't say it, or yeah, a lot of chaos, a lot of just, what's the word? Back and forth conflict. Conflict is the word I'm looking for. And with the devil here, this really is feeling like just tempted to say things you shouldn't, or to the wrong people is what this is really giving. And it's not that what you have to say or what they have to say is wrong in any way. It's just that the audience is just maybe not the right audience for what it is you're trying to say. So it's kind of like know the crowd, know your audience is really the message coming through. Because some people just do not want to hear what it is you have to say, or maybe you don't want to hear what someone else is having to say. And that can cause some chaos, some conflict. Let's just see, tuning in on the more spiritual side of things, just to see if there are any messages coming through that you need to know right now. Those of you watching now or on the replay, and we have about 4 minutes before I'm going to close out. So we have energy, power, aura, and depletion. So call your energy back to you. And with this message here, there may be people, again, that are just looking for a quick, it's like a drive-by. It's what I'm seeing is like an energetic drive-by looshing instead of shooting, where they come in, they get in your energy, get you triggered, or get you to have all this sympathy for them, or whatever the case may be. They're taking your life force energy, and it may not even be on a conscious level that they're trying to come in and siphon from you, but on an energetic level, that is what's happening. So it is up to you to call your power back, and this is something you can even do multiple times a day. As a fractal of that original source creator, you have the ability, just with your intentions, to say, oh no, thanks, that's not what I'm here for. And to call that energy back. And that will help you have your energy levels come up, because it does feel like the energy, it just feels off. Like, right, not just like in the collective right now, but just even when you come into contact with certain people, the energy can just feel kind of off, or not quite right, not quite authentic, not quite hitting the mark like it used to. But this really is about when things kind of feel off like that. It doesn't mean the person or their energy themselves or itself is off. It's just the way that you're interpreting it or resonating or vibrating with it just feels off right now. And that's not through anyone's fault. It's just this recalibration of these timelines that have been shifting and everything. But look, we have the V is for victory card. I love this one. Victory in some endeavor. And there may even be someone with a V name, or a place that starts with a V that's going to be prominent and coming up over, I'm seeing like about the next 2, maybe even 3 weeks for some of you, or even just hearing the word victory a lot. And that's going to be kind of a little sign or symbol, synchronicity, to let you know that things are improving. Yeah, and Mercury will come out of retrograde here in about 3 days. And then we have to kind of lean on the fact that it takes about 2 weeks or so for that to, here we go, for that energy to, come back into full swing, to have Mercury back direct again. So it really is about just recalibrating in that moment or in that time, to be able to know that what you're doing is for your highest good, but also that energetically things may be kind of hitting this lag or lapse in timing. We have the frying pan card, trouble accusation. And again, this is really in alignment with what was going on here in this energy field of this. And it may have had something to do with the viewer that we had come in right away. This person waited, because I always set this. It looks like they've left now. And I've since blocked them. That may be why I looked a little distracted here momentarily. Trying to push their super patriarchal religious views on everyone in the chat here. And I'm not here for that. I mean, if you have an opinion on something, start your own channel or go places where that message will be better received rather than people who've been burned by the exact thing that you're talking about over and over again. And really, they don't want to hear it. I mean, it was funny how the cards just completely aligned with what this person here in the chat was trying to do to the rest of us that we're watching. It says we still have 2 people here, but I just energetically feel like this person has removed their energies. So come what may, who knows what's going on. But this is about, as I was reading this one, I was purposely and personally calling my own energy back and all of the stuff to protect this live stream space as well. But this is exactly what some of you may be dealing with, is not so much accusations, but just trouble, just troubled energy. And even if you can't quite put your finger on why you feel a certain way or why it seems like something just feels off energetically. One thing that you can, if you go to All Time, I think is the name of his channel. Let me go here on YouTube and find. I watched it this morning and I'm like, yes, yes, and yes. This is something I have been talking about like ad nauseum for a while now. And it is about why search sucks now on the internet. Yeah, his channel is, oh, we don't need ads. His channel is called All Time. And his most recent video here, why search sucks now. So you can watch that and it'll tell you, like, when you go to Google something now, it just, the internet just feels off. It's like exactly what we've been tuning into of like, why does everything feel so weird? Or like there's the illusion of the fact that things are the same, but like they're not. Like something is different, something has changed. Um, if you want to check out that video. But it's not just things going on online. This is also people, because so many people have just given so much of their life force away or just outsourced their own critical thinking to the point where they are basically walking AI robots. Even if they do have a spark of that true spirit, they've just kind of circumvented their own validation within themselves to give this energy or this attention, time, love, affection, attention to something that is just not going to be beneficial long run. And in fact, there is a hidden agenda, not only to get everything streamlined and cohesive and everybody believing the same quote unquote truth, which is actually not truth at all. It's a fabrication because we are already in a false matrix. And to keep the lie of the false matrix running, we have to get a significant amount of people in that collective consciousness to believe in things that are not even true. So let me take a quick drink of my coffee. Check the donation list and then we'll finish up this little reading here, but I think we are still up to date. I just had a feeling today it was going to be a quiet live stream day as far as donations went, but I still wanted to give you guys a little something, pop on here, say hi, because I did miss you guys. Bearsha's here! You just missed the troll. That was fun. I was pretty quiet about it until I felt that they left, and then they left and I blocked them because I don't care. I don't want to hear it, all their BS. Yes, absolutely. I mean, it was just a quick little block user, all done, all better. But still, I mean, I was giving them the benefit of the doubt at first, but 3 messages in, I knew what they were here to do, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care anymore. I don't want to hear it. But the funny thing was, the message that came through completely aligned with what was going on with this user. But I figured many of you watching the replay of this may have this energy so much with just this upset or just trying to throw a wrench in the gears of your forward spiritual progress and momentum. It's coming left, right, and center from these matrix tricksters and people that think that, no, this was my idea. No, you're literally being controlled by the matrix itself. Until you can step out of all of the rat race of the swirling thoughts and realize you're not those thoughts, you're not the one thinking those thoughts, you're the observer of the thoughts. Oh, interesting. Wow. So you did get to have your session. I'm so glad. How did the whole thing with the aunt and uncle pan out, Versha? I was meaning to ask you next time I saw you. I hope that they, if they did show up, that they kept their distance. Or if they are there, I'm still glad that you did get to have your session. Oh, she helped you remove hooks from your mom, in which she was making me go through and carry her trauma. Oh my gosh. And I don't feel that your mom was like consciously and purposely making this happen for you. It's just a byproduct. I mean, it just happens. We just naturally pass that onto our children unless we decide actively against passing that on to our children and trying to transmute it all within ourselves. Um, oh, let's see. Also, yesterday, suddenly Raylene started sharing in the Telegram group about certain people's participation in Lemuria happened. Oh, interesting. They did come, but I did do my session. Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, hopefully they will be able to leave you in peace very soon. Because energetically, it felt like there was a detachment, meaning that if they did come, that you wouldn't feel too compelled or bothered by the fact that they were there, or to have to cater to them in some way, or the fact that maybe they just didn't even show up at all. It's a very similar energy, but either way, it's like you're doing what you set out to do without allowing them to come in and derail what you had already planned. And that's what the Matrix wanted, was to come in and derail your plan, but you weren't letting it happen. Sacral room was connected to her, and it went all the way back. Wow. Well, I'm so glad that you were able to deal with that and figure out what that was, because that could be huge. That could be a huge part of you being able to move forward. Yeah, so into the Matrix. And, whether it's the feminine or the masculine side of the family, we've all had to play our parts, as far as it's even just in these last probably 60 to 70 years, and even as soon as the 1990s, that women have had as many rights as men. Because up until the 90s, a man could legally, take his wife in all sense of the word, even against her will, and it would be legal and it would be okay. And then it wasn't even until the 1970s that women could even have a bank account. So women are ourselves, as the divine feminine, we've kind of had to play our roles in this suppressed energy, and we didn't realize we were playing a role. We just thought, well, this is just how it is. And once we've kind of evolved past that, for lack of a better word, I don't know what else we would want to call it, moved beyond it, we're still, even in 2025, finding ways, as especially the divine feminine, finding ways to dismantle or untangle ourselves from these false matrix realities that we've been participating in, either knowingly or unknowingly. Most of us very, very unknowingly. And then once we know better, we can do better. And even if we don't know how to do better as far as like the physical reality of things, energetically, we start claiming our sovereignty again. And it's so powerful and it's so beautiful. She said that I will benefit from more sessions. My inner child came through. The issue was never touched with. I was never touched with love, care, and protection. Absolutely. Yeah, I can totally see that. I can totally see that. And yeah, and that's the thing, is it's not that that's a problem even specific to you. Even those of us who've had a relatively, I mean, I look back on my life, I've had a pretty good life, but there's also been a lot of trauma. I don't know that any one of us has been untouched by generational trauma in some way or shape or form. Some to greater degrees than others, and some in different ways than others, but we've all gotten past this torch that we gave no permission to get past. Or, they like to say, oh, soul contracts. It's like, well, I'm reviewing and rebuking a lot of these soul contracts that I allegedly signed up for. It was more that I was tricked into, and you most likely tricked into carrying these soul contracts that really we shouldn't have had to even touch, to come in and do whatever it was we were here to do before we exit stage left when we're ready to leave here. It's just crazy. Yeah. Oh, the thought process, you don't deserve, you cannot do it, you are unworthy, unwanted, all rooted in me, that's hindering me from accepting my original person. Like, wow. And that all just feels like a collective wound. Not to say that it's not very personal to you. Absolutely it is. But I can see so much of what you're talking about reflected in just ways that I've tried to dismantle and untangle from ancestral and generational stuff in my own family, and just people that I know. And just like, even just reading this book, I'm like in book 6. Oh wait, this is book 7. Yeah, book 7 of the Outlander series. And look, I'm almost finished. I just have this little bit left to go here. But the next one's on hold at the library. But this is all about family, connections, people that are in a wrong family and finding out the true origins of their right family, and just all the generational BS that's been passed and passed and passed. And yeah, it's really opened my eyes in a lot of, I know it's a work of fiction, but in a lot of ways, just to my own ancestry and family, and how we just unknowingly are carrying these torches and thinking that's just life, that's just us, that's just whatever. No, it's the matrix throwing wrenches is what it's doing. Ah. All last few weeks have been very intense. The whole 2025 has been a roller coaster ride in an already running ride. I feel ya. I feel ya. And mine isn't even that anything bad or really sweepingly negative is going on. It's just I'm so busy all of the time that I don't get. Well, I could if I just said, okay, everybody, grind to a halt, stop. Mom is out of business. Mom is out of commission for however long. But this summer, I think I haven't been busier in years than I have been this summer. And I'm just like, I thought, we just have this low key summer. I'd take them to their activities, but still have plenty of time to like just be, not even do anything or accomplish anything, but just be. And I haven't even had a moment, it seems, to just be. I've maybe taken 2 baths this whole summer. And you guys know me. You know me. I'm like a 6 to 7 a week bath a week girly up here. Yes, I am. 2 the whole summer. And the last one I took was not at all very recently. It was sometime in early July. If I'm thinking back correctly. Yeah, 2. And that's when I really do the bulk of my spiritual work in a day is when I'm in my bath. Like that's my special me zone time that I just, get in the zone and do what I need to do. And I still do my cleansing and clearing, but it's not as in depth as I do when I'm able to really ground myself in the water. I know it sounds weird, but yeah. Oh, she did talk about being the black sheep, a grid worker, and how I chose to come into the dysfunctional family just to transmute stuff. I told her that I am managing my stuff and healing. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. It's so a lot. But you're doing it. You're doing the work. You've rolled up your sleeves and you're doing it. I love it. Well, you guys, I think what I'm going to do is go and make some early lunch or at least get a jump on the lunch schedule for today. And Boston's out golfing right now, so I'm gonna have to pick him up probably within the next hour-ish. Again, I'm on call all the time. Drop me off here, pick me up there. Drop me off here, pick me up there. Yeah. Then handling my daughter, being both mother and father, also being anchor for the spirit swap. Seriously. Then comes in the twist with 5D consciousness, body changing, and Lemurio memories flooding in. Oh my gosh, right? It's like that's one thing that not that men aren't spiritual and don't connect to the spiritual. They do and they can and they will. But oh, Brianna's gonna donate. Perfect. That works. But it's the women, like 1% of what we actually have going on is in the physical world. And the other like 99% is in, these etheric spiritual realms where we're doing the grunt work in these realms, but yet we're also expected to participate 50-50 or a great amount in our households, in our families, in society, at our work, wherever it is that we're working or whatever we're doing, to the same capacity that a man does. But there's no even acknowledgement that women are doing like 99% of their life force work in these spiritual realms. And then when they're forced to kind of play these 3D mundane roles of rolling up your sleeves and doing all these things, and it's just too much. It's just way too much. It's way too much. And especially the way that our families and systems are set up now to where we don't have that support. We don't have that village to help us when we need to take that time away. Yeah, 1% human and 99 ethereal. That's exactly what the divine feminine really is embodying here. Whether you're awakened, non-awakened, as long as you have a spark of spirit, 99% of who you are and what's going on is like energetic. It's not even in the physical. But you think of how much work you're doing in the physical just to maintain your body, just to, raise your kids or go to work, maintain your household, take care of pets, whatever it is you're doing, maintaining friendships. All the work that goes into just being in existence in a physical reality. That's only 1% of what we're actually doing day after day. It's so insane to me how we can keep going and going and going. Like we should have burned out so long ago, but that lets you know that spark of spirit within us is keeping us going. It's a lot. Brianna, well, welcome, Brianna. It's good to see you. And she's donating right now. So we will go ahead and answer her question momentarily. I'll take a quick water break. Yeah, yesterday they actually canceled the tennis camp that both the kids are in because it was just raining from basically the night before all the way through about 3 p.m. Stopped for a little bit, then it was raining again from about 6 to 7 p.m. I mean, it just rained most of yesterday and everything was just soggy and wet outside. So there was no golf, there was no tennis. And I almost just didn't know what to do with myself yesterday because we got to stay home and I'm like, couldn't even think on the fly, like, what are we gonna do with our time today? I could have probably made way better use of it, but I did some plant care stuff, I cooked for my kids, and we watched movies. Like, I haven't had a movie day in probably years. We just watched movies, 90s movies to be exact. Yeah, we watched, Vegas Vacation, we watched Now and Then, and Look Who's Talking. We, like, made it a marathon for most of the day. Yeah, it was fun though. It was just fun to disappear into other stories for a minute, just for a minute. Oh, she deactivated the inner spark of all my cells today and even cleansed my DNA through my I am presence. Saw something separate from my DNA. Reminded me that of that embossed thing you had read for me. Oh, wow. Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, things sometimes they don't make sense in the moment, but then when they do, they really make sense. It's crazy, isn't it? Yes. So, Brianna, what does she need to hear right now? All right. So, let's tune in for Brianna. All right. Here we go. Tuning into Brianna's lovely true spirit. What does Brianna need to know right now? All right. And we have the Queen of Cups. So, this is all about trusting your intuition, about whatever it is that you're feeling, like with your physical body. You will feel it somewhere in your body. This is letting you know that what you're feeling in your body, that is very intelligent information coming through. So if you're feeling run down and need a rest, honor that. If you're feeling like I actually have all this energy and I'm ready to rock, then do it. This is letting you know that whatever it is you're feeling, especially in your physical body, sometimes our mental processes can lie to us because they're not really us. Unless you're the one actively like, okay, first I'm going to do this, then like that's you actively using your brain. That is you using that consciousness in that way with your true divine consciousness. But a lot of times when there's just these loops of thoughts, that's not us. That's a lot of times matrix implants coming in to deter us, derail us. So if you've been having, I'm seeing like this element of like brain, maybe not fogginess so much, but just busyness. This is letting you know that you can feel in your body what's right rather than trusting a lot of just this nonsensical, just matrix hive mind stuff that's just kind of at times finding you. Have to be with S's visiting aunt, so hope to meet you next Wednesday. Yes, we're gonna do a cosmic question corner next Wednesday. I have it like I'm excited. I'm ready to do this. But look at this, Brianna. There's a changing of the guard, is what I just heard. So there's a shift. There's a change in the wind, a shift, something that's going to be more peaceful. This is bringing more peace, more harmony. But this may be as a effect of something you're instituting into your kind of daily routine, or just something, maybe a boundary that you're putting up to where you are getting more rest, more relaxation. But it's not that you're wasting time, it's that you're actually gaining a lot of ground in this time of relaxation and rest. Wow, she's saying yes, yes, yes. LOL, it's always on point. Oh, I changed my question so many times and then just went with Old Faithful. I love it. All right, anything else Brianna needs to know right now? Ooh, opportunities are waiting for you. That door is not quite yet open, but it's available. It's not locked. It just, put a little bit of power behind it to open those doors, and it's ready and waiting for you. But it does feel like you're kind of on the precipice of just kind of changing out. It feels like it's almost like a changing out of a wardrobe between seasons. And I know we're not quite to a literal season change, but energetically speaking, this feels like a changing out of, okay, I did need this for the season I was in, but now I don't think I need this or this or this. Not that I'm getting rid of them. I'm just going to put them, in this tote and stuff it under the bed until the next season when I can pick up these tools, energetically, physical, literal, whatever they are, to be able to utilize them at a future time. Because now you're unpacking tools from the past that you've tucked away for a rainy day or for when the time was right or this next change in season, more metaphorical than literal at this point. And when you're ready to do that, all you have to do is pull that door open and that opportunity is right there waiting for you. We have firecracker with excitement. I love that. And then bridge with successfully overcoming a problem. And I have chills, big chills. So this energy that you're stepping into, maybe even some of the things that you thought, well, I could pack away that thing for a later day or a rainy day. And you're actually thinking, actually, I don't need that at all anymore. This could be literal decluttering or just a physical decluttering of, I'm even seeing like a haircut or doing some sort of cleansing to the physical body that is kind of removing old energy. That could be with a haircut or, cutting nails, doing like the African net sponge thing. That thing is like miracle worker, just to get all like the dead skin cells off when you're in the shower, just cleanse yourself really well. And then of course, here's my child entering the room. Usually when that happens, I'll let you know that there's some really fertile energy. Doesn't have to be for children. It can be for projects, ideas, wisdom that needs to come through. But you are very successfully overcoming a problem here. Something that may not have even been like a direct problem, but it's something that you're just ready to move beyond it. Yes, a detox. I love that. Yeah, I'm right there with you, girl. I am ready to just change all of my bad habits and ways, especially with the things I'm consuming, whether with my eyes, with my, mouth and digestion and all that. Like I'm looking to make some good things. So this fell to the ground. This feels like it's amending what this one's saying. Discord among friends or family. And then grasshopper, situations in the balance that require careful handling. So if you are dealing with a negative, I'm really feeling this is a family member specifically that just doesn't understand you, or just this high level that you've reached or attained. They're just so, I'm hearing that song by Tal Bachman, I think was his name. She's so high above me. She's so high. Have you heard that one? That's a good one. But that's kind of like energetically speaking how this person feels. Like, oh wow, Brianna's just way too good for us. But they're kind of putting themselves in like the victim role of it all. It's not that you're too good for them. It's just that you vibrated so high out of their energetic resonance that it just almost feels like a complete mismatch when you do cross paths with this family member or have to communicate with this family member. And it's almost like physically uncomfortable for you to even be in their presence, because you just feel their judgment. You feel their, really, it's not even judgment. It's just jealousy. It's pure jealousy that they're masking in the form of potential judgment. That it's very off-putting to you, because you're just not that way when you come into contact with people, and you may energetically feel that you're not quite a vibrational match. It's not that you feel you're better than them, but it's almost like you're protecting your energy because you feel that this energy is detrimental to the high vibe that you're cultivating. Let's get one more. Anything else Brianna needs to know about what we just uncovered here, or just anything else at random that needs to come through? Yeah, food technology routines and proper water. Yes, proper water is like everything. It's a game changer. Well, look at this. Stick with it. Stick with it. And the number 44 showing up, that's about creating that stability ×2, that security, that stability, that solid foundation. Times that by 2. Look at that, 44. And yeah, it's like you haven't quite reached this pinnacle, and that's okay, because there's so much room for growth, but also you have come a long way. Like, I don't know if you can tell how high up this person is, but I'm just seeing it almost as like they started like way down here, and then like you're almost to the top of this. Like, you've come so far. There's still some work to do, and you know that, and you're like here for it. You're prepared to do what you need to do to reach this height that you are, trying to attain, and you will. It's just going to take a bit of time, a bit of patience. And even if other people are, causing issues or feeling less than because that you're rising to these heights. I mean, literally, that's what we were talking about, is you rising to all these heights. And I already put the card back, but yeah, you rising to these heights and then them feeling you're so high above them. I mean, did you saw how high that guy was climbing in that card? I'm so sad I put it away. But you saw it, you know what it looks like. But it really is about not lowering your standards, lowering your expectations, lowering your vibe to appease, friends, family, people around you. This is about you shining so bright that you almost force them to have to start rising themselves. Is really, and that becomes uncomfortable for people who don't want to do that inner work or do that healing. It becomes very uncomfortable to be in the presence of someone who has done so much work on themselves. And then there's this jealousy, there's this, oh, they think they're better than us kind of attitude that comes out when these people are forced to be in the presence of someone like you that's done a lot of work. But that's a them problem, not a you problem. And you can love them, either having them in your life or loving them from afar if there's a boundary that needs to be put in place. But at the very least, you're shifting, and you're always shifting. You're not just ever resting on your laurels. And there are people in your life, mostly in the family line, that kind of reach a certain point and they're like, well, I don't need to learn anything else. I don't need to become anything else. This is what life is. Like, I've made it. And they're not happy. And they're usually overweight and eating all the wrong things and consuming all the wrong things and just they're not anywhere near their highest potential or even scratching the surface. But that doesn't mean that you have to settle for having these people. Not to say you have to cut them out of your life. I'm not saying that either, but it's just you set yourself to a much higher standard than these people ever thought of or even knew was possible for them. So you're almost like this anomaly in your family line or even just in just a lot of people in your community, that it just makes it really difficult for them to even know how to hang with you, energetically speaking, if that makes sense. But just keep doing what you're doing, because intuitively you know what's best for you and you know what's not best for you. And when you know something's not great for you, that's when you have that opportunity, that door opening, that opportunity to be able to shift and change it into something that actually is going to benefit you in the long run. And if the thing is not benefiting you, you're able to then do away with it or move beyond it in some way. All right. Hello, Kitty. Welcome. Let me know what your question is and we'll get right into it for you. All right. Drinking my mushroom coffee. Hello, Kitty. Yes, we will answer your question. Go ahead and post it and we'll get right into it for you, my dear. And welcome to the chat. Welcome, welcome. All right. How is Harry feeling about me? All right, let's tune in for Kitty. How is Harry feeling about Kitty? Tuning into Kitty's true spirit, Harry's true intentions. Okay. So this is interesting because he doesn't realize what he has with you. It's like he's almost taken it for granted or just not seen through to the true beauty and essence of who you are. It's almost like he doesn't fully appreciate who you are. It's not to say, though, that it's going to remain this way, because the opportunity for him to see that the prize or the amazing person that you are is very close at hand, where he's going to have this realization that, like, wow, no, like I've got a prize here, or I could have a prize here if I were to be the one to say, hey, let's do this thing. So let's just see his true intentions or just anything he's feeling about Kitty at this time. Okay. I can definitely see or sense this attraction, but there may have been that he's recently or is still affected if it wasn't recent. It does feel pretty recent, though, within, I'd say, the last 2 years for sure. Broken up with someone or been involved with someone that there's still some complicated feelings or some healing that he's doing from this connection. But the fact that it's coming out with the Justice card lets me know that he is more than willing, capable, and able to overcome just this past stuff he's been through in his love life, to where he's going to be able to show up in a way that is new and fresh and not feeling like he's carrying a lot of past baggage into a future connection with you or potentially, whoever it is he's going to be with in the future. I almost said in the past. There may even be someone from his past. It doesn't feel like they are an issue, but there's someone he still thinks about. And it's not that he wants to get back with this person. It's just how could that have gone so far off the rails? It feels like he's blaming himself for the way things were. He's not maybe always sure how to, overcome it, but he's ready for love. Like, that's what this feels like. Look at this. There's an offer of love here. High school ex. Okay, so this makes sense. As far as external exes, but the energy between you feels like unfinished business. Like, that's what this feels like. A balancing of being able to, heal, or wishing that there were some things from the past that he's still feeling, a bit sad, or kind of almost blaming himself that he didn't treat you right the first time. And that could even be why this was coming out in the beginning here. A bit of regret, and just still focused on the past energy of, it's like, yes, he understands you've grown, you've evolved, you're not the same exact person that he dated back in the day. But he can't truly see it with his eyes, with his energy yet, but he will be able to. And then he'll realize, okay, like, basically trying to revive the past connection that you two had, that's not even where it's at anymore. It's just communicating and uniting and connecting on the level of who you both are now. It's not even that you have to, not that you have to get rid of all those old memories, not at all. But there is a rekindling here. Absolutely. Absolutely. And he does have attraction for you. And there is, like, I would even dare to say, love here. He cares deeply about you. It's just he wants to do things right, is what I see. We were going good, and then things got quiet. Yeah, let's tune into why he pulled back. Why Harry pulled back. Okay, so he is actively thinking about his future, and again, this goes right back to him and his regrets, or his just feelings about himself. This is about him not being exactly who he thought he would be when he found, quote unquote, the one. So this may be him working to better himself in a lot of ways. There may even be a move, some sort of move that he's doing or wanting. And this doesn't have to be a little physical move, like, oh, I'm moving from one place to another. It can be reflected in that, but this is like an energetic shift. Like, this could be a changing of career, a changing of house, a changing of just interests, hobbies, or just wanting to go on like a fitness journey or something. There's a shift that he's making in life that's going to take a lot of his priority for him to feel like he's becoming the person he wants to be. So it's basically him wanting to live more up to his own potential, not so much to prove anything to anyone else, but just to feel this sense of being in his own energy as himself, is what it feels like. So let's see. Yeah, and as far as commitment, if this doesn't scream commitment right here, I don't know what does. It's just a matter of he's kind of missing a piece of the puzzle here. And it's not that there's anything you have to do or shift or change at all for him to notice this. This is a shift or a change within himself that he's going to realize. And I do see within about 3 weeks to 2 months. There's kind of a time frame there. I do have my little timing cards over here. So 3 weeks to 2 months would put us into September, and by the end of October is really the farthest out. But let's just see when this realization will take place for Harry, like, fully to get this. Okay. So there is a realization coming between now and October, but then there's an even deeper realization by May. And I do see that you guys will be in a more solidly committed place before May. And then around May, he's really deepening this sense of wanting a deeper commitment with you, where he maybe start talking about marriage or kids, or, just a future together if marriage and kids aren't exactly what you're looking for. But him realizing, wow, no, this is the person I want to be with. And he may even be realizing that by, 3 weeks from now through around end of October, he's going to be upping that commitment during that time, and then upping it again in May. And I just put this back and shuffled. Yeah, it does feel so far away. It really does. But again, you're going to be getting hints and communication. It's not like you won't hear from him before May. Not at all. Not at all. But as far as you knowing really deep down that, okay, we're on, this is on, no later than May, but I would say between 3 weeks from now and around October, end of October, kind of in that time frame, because time's this weird thing. Actions we take or don't take, things we say or don't say, can kind of rubber band that timeline. We can stretch it out, we can contract it, whatever. So it's kind of the timeline is kind of based on actions he hasn't quite yet taken yet, or realizations he hasn't quite had yet, but will. that will firmly put you, yeah, it really does feel by October that you will be in, he will at least let you know his intention toward you as far as, I really do like you. Oh, and look, I'm shuffling inside out, or I was shuffling the right way, but this card came out, but inside out, upside down. There's the word I'm looking for. When this is up, it's like, no, we're no coming back. But when this is turned on its head like this lets you know that there's been a shift for him internally, that he's realizing, okay, I can't return to that past version of who we were in high school, or, I can't repair what was done there, but I have a fresh slate to start something new with the same person, but in a different way, is what this feels like. So it's almost like he's coming to this realization that we can't just revive or kind of quote unquote pick up where we left off in high school, and try to build a loving connection from there. He's going to realize we just need to scrap all that. Again, keep the good memories and what have you, but decide, okay, no, let's just build a whole new relationship. We don't even need to try to build on that old, very, naive, love, stars in our eyes, whatever. Like, not to say you can't still have stars in your eyes, not at all, but the version of the relationship that you had then will be a far cry from the relationship that you're going to be building, but in a good way, how would he treat you? Yeah, you hate the quietness. Yeah, I can totally see. It's not a fun thing to be feeling like someone's option when you're kind of almost putting this person as a priority. But it does feel like this is stable and steady. So there's a treating of long-term. There's long-term energy here. So this is someone who's going to be in your life for a long time. And also someone who's putting a lot of care into nurturing something without trying to rush into something, or, try to hit all these milestones and then like burn out on the relationship. No, he wants to slowly and steadily build this connection into something that is very stable. And it may not look like, this whirlwind relationship overnight, but at the same time, he is letting you know along the way, yes, I'm committed. I may be working on these things within myself. And it's kind of, I guess, to be determined how much he's going to share with you on the journey that he's currently on for his just personal development. But you may be seeing changes in his happiness levels, because there's sort of kind of a depression baseline, or where he's kind of felt kind of off. And so many people in the world are feeling this. It's not like this is, just very unique to him. A lot of people are feeling this, just kind of, what's the point? What's the point of all this? It's very depressing, the state of the world, state of the economy, but this is actually going to be like fuel to the fire for him, Kitty, that he's going to start to say, I deserve and I want something better than just this going through the motions type of life. And as he starts to put the pieces together for who he is, he's going to then know that, wow, Kitty is a really big part of where I see myself in the future. So I absolutely want her to be along for the ride. Look at this. How would he treat you? No, he doesn't want anyone else. He wants himself, as far as feeling this deep sense of commitment and knowing within himself. That is who he's currently seeking, it does feel like. So if we technically want to say there is someone else, it's him. But then once he kind of starts to, okay, I'm getting it. I'm realizing things. You're going to be the only romantic encounter or partner that he would want to go for at this time. Absolutely. And then we have the Three of Wands here, which is about finally moving forward on those plans. As far as how he will treat you, let's tune in how Harry will treat Kitty. Ooh. So we have slippery energy here, but literally like a queen. But it's going to take a bit of time to build to this. So you may have lapses in communication, a bit of silence here or there, but then you'll have this like floodgates open of him talking about the future with you and how he sees a future with you. And then he may try to pull back a little bit because he's not the person he thinks he needs to be or feels he needs to be to deserve this beautiful queen that you are in his life. So he might almost yo-yo this energy a bit before he stabilizes it, is kind of how this feels. But I still see by October, it'll be stable enough that you won't even question his commitment level to you. You'll just know that, okay, he is working on himself, but he's also working on this connection with the two of us. So I would say by October, and then by May, things are super solid between you. that there's not even a question, does he want anyone else? Where is he? I haven't heard from him, because you'll just be in his life so consistently and him in your life so consistently that not even one day will go by that you don't hear from each other or aren't in each other's energy or frequency, is what this feels like. And yeah, it's from October to May, it does feel like a bit of a build, but yeah, when you were start building again, it does feel within, it's very soon. It's like so soon that I'm just like, it's imminent. Like it could be any day now. Um, but no later than these 3 weeks. No later than 3 weeks from now, because that's when things are really starting to feel solid again. Is 3 weeks from now till sometime around, end of October, that kind of time frame. But you're going to have hints before even that okay, he's reaching out more. We're making plans together. We're going places, or we're doing things. Look at this again with the 3 of Wands. Where was that? I just had it. I just had it. There it is. So this is about not just making plans, but actually following through on said plans together, building a future. This is about building a future and following through, riding off into the sunset. And I know that sounds so romantic and everything. I mean, it's going to take work. All relationships take work. So there will be ups and downs and all the things, but it feels solid. Yeah, no one else. I don't feel anyone else unless it's just him. He may be focused on himself, which would technically be someone else besides you. But as far as a romantic encounter of any kind, this is all toward you, is what this feels like. So I hope that helped, Kitty. Just at least brought some peace of mind, if anything, that he's trying to get where he wants to go, is what it feels like. And there's this sense of, I thought by now I'd be farther in life than I currently am. And that really does kind of start to weigh on him or feel really depressing to him at times. But he's not just going to sit there and be depressed about it much longer. He's going to start taking action and start building himself into the person he knows he can be, financially, in his career, in his love life, in just his personal fitness, and just the way he shows up in the world. He knows there's so much room for improvement. I mean, not that he's a bad guy or a slouch by any means. No, he's not. But, we all have this kind of feeling within us that there's some potential that's just been untapped. And he's really sensing this at this time, to where he's really wanting to tap that potential of who he is. And he wants you to be along for the ride, yes, but he doesn't want to just put all of his stuff away or off to the side to then only focus on a relationship. So it's almost like he's kind of doing both at once. How another guy's feeling. Yeah, sure, real quick. So go ahead and post about how another guy, if you have his name or just, first initial, whatever works for you, as far as how you want to present this person. But energetically, there's communication coming in for sure already. All right. Yeah, this person DP, may have already been through the ringer in love as well and is still trying to find their way. As far as connection between you and DP, or connection between you and Harry, it really does feel that Harry is going to be the better choice for you. DP feels more like, it feels like a very fleeting kind of energy, like something that is going to build up, but then it fizzles out over time. But there's a lot of good time you can have together in the meantime. So if you are kind of just going on dates or talking, hanging out, I do see if anything, this is a friendship card. So at the very least, there could be a friendship developing. Not to say their feelings can't go beyond friendship, but if they do, I do see them kind of just fizzling out a bit over time, if that makes sense. Is for me, I think, is just passing time. I don't know if he wants anything serious. Yeah, I mean, it feels very playful, very lighthearted, as far as like his connection to you. But the commitment seriousness level is nowhere near what I'm sensing with Harry's energy and intention toward you. It's more like, oh, let's just hang out. Let's just see where things go. Let's have some fun. But much like Harry, he is also dealing with just some, skeletons in the closet from his past and his love life, and he's not looking to be hurt because he was really hurt in a specific connection, and then there were two total connections that kind of really made him almost want to swear off love, but then he's like, no, I'll give it another chance. But he's still not over one quote unquote love of his life or whatever. um yeah, also I'm worried about taking it further in the bedroom. Yeah, and I'm seeing that's a valid concern because once what I'm seeing in my mind's eye, not like literally seeing you guys doing that, but like energetically speaking, once you do give him that part of yourself, it almost feels like, okay, I came to do what I did and now I'm off to something different, is kind of what it feels. Um, who isn't over his life if his life oh wait, who isn't his I don't know if I'm just misreading this. Let's see. Who isn't over his if his life DP? I'm not exactly sure of the question. Maybe I'm just reading it incorrectly here. But let's just see. Oh, love of his life. Who? Let's just see. This feels like someone from his past for sure, not someone who he's currently actively speaking to in any way or connected to in any way. And he doesn't plan to rekindle this connection. Yeah, it was a karmic relationship that what's done is done. And he may still think of this person from time to time, but there's no real avenue for him to get back in this person's life or vice versa. There's been a very clean break as far as it does feel like this person is already married and maybe potentially has children with someone else. It's in the past. And he doesn't, and this person that he was with definitely doesn't want to leave her current situation to return to him. It's just more on his end that maybe she was the one that got away kind of energy. Yeah, I don't feel like that the recent exes, it was more like, okay, it was a challenge, it was fun, we did the thing, and now I'm kind of ready for the next fun adventure. He's very like he gets bored easily is what I feel, and his mind wanders like, well, what else is out there? Yeah. Yeah, I don't feel he's pushy or anything, but it does feel energetically like once I'm almost seeing it as like a warrior conquering, and then they stake their claim or put their flag in something, and then once they've claimed it, they're ready for the next battle. They're ready to move on to something else, is what it feels like. So if you were to go farther than you already have, bedroom wise, I do see that he would probably get bored. Not that there's anything wrong with you. This is just how he's kind of wired. um, yeah, I want Harry because I don't think DP wants a commitment. Yeah, and I'm really sensing it's almost just a non-issue at this point where things may not go so far with DP that you are in any kind of committed relationship. Even if you do go, quote unquote, all the way with him, I don't see that he's wanting to step up and give any kind of commitment. I'm worried I'll be disappointed in the bedroom. Aw. Yeah. I do see DP more as someone who's going to get their quick fix in the bedroom and then maybe not return the favor, if you know what I'm saying. But he is fun. Like, he's fun. He's kind of adventurous, kind of funny, outspoken. When he's around you, maybe with other groups of people, he's more quiet or subdued. But when you're kind of one-on-one, it feels more open, more fun, lively. But again, I don't see that he's going to be in your life long term as far as love interest. And in fact, you may start to kind of lose that kind of chemistry or romantic sense toward him before he loses it toward you, is what I see. Um, yeah. Yeah, I do feel like he could be a fun friend or just someone to hang out with. Yeah, but I do see that Harry would be more worth your focus and effort because he's willing to put in the focus and effort. The DP just isn't. Yeah, you've been hanging out with him just till Harry shows up. Yeah, and when Harry shows up, it feels like once he shows up again, you'll never have to question because it's like the consistency will just start to increase with Harry. Yeah, it's kind of a slow increase, a slow build, but then once you've really gained a momentum with Harry, it's almost like there's no looking back because you're both just on the same wavelength with each other. And then there will be talks of commitment again, no later than like October with Harry. And then come May, things are solid, pretty solid with you two. So, all right, Kitty, I hope that resonated for you, or at least brought you a little bit of clarity or guidance today. That does look like we have reached the end of our donations here today. So I'm going to go make my kids some lunch and probably pick my other son up here very shortly from his golf. You're so welcome, Kitty. It was a pleasure to read for you. Absolutely. You'll have to keep us posted how things are going if you feel so inclined. All right. Much love to you, everybody, and I will see you. Thanks again for first and foremost. Thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot Live. I will be back on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. I'm pretty sure that should cover everything that I need. As far as I know, we do have a meeting for upcoming high school sports for my oldest son on Tuesday evening, but I don't, as far as I know, I don't have anything going on Wednesday evenings. So I should be here. And we're going to do the Cosmic Question Corner, which I'm very excited to bring that back. So I will see you guys next time. Wednesday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Be there. All right. Much love. Peace. And I will see you next time. All right, you guys. Bye.